boys. Another week of the UFL has passed by, and I'm gonna recap week 3 for you guys. So let's just get right into it. First, we had the Stallions and the Renegades, which the Stallions won 10-9. This was a pretty close game, but the Stallions came back and won. I think within like the last 26 seconds of the game or the last 51 seconds, something like that. Let me see. It was, yeah, 26 seconds. Um there was a fumble that actually helped them win. And honestly, it was a it was a pretty slow game, but it worked out in the end for the Stallions. By the way, yes, you do see Call of Duty in the background. You probably see me rocking return the return of Verdansk skin that like everyone got from the safes and everything. Yeah, I've been grinding a lot. Got the Cali sticks too. Um but anyway, we had El Perez, 26 completions out of 38 attempts, 204 yards. K Balaj had 16 attempts at rushing, got 41 yards. D Hunter had 6 attempts for 29 yards. And D Smith had 1 attempt for 4 yards. I want to see what this news is real quick. Oh, it's just something about the NFL draft. Uh, S. Canella, 6 receptions for 52 yards. T. Vaughns, 5 receptions for 40 yards. I. Winstead, 3 receptions, 29 yards. D. Burnett, 4 receptions, 26 yards. J. Payton, 3 receptions, 22 yards. K. Balaj, 1 reception, 15 yards. L. Winningham, 2 receptions, 12 yards. And D. Hunter, 2 receptions for 8 yards. And for the Stallions, I believe it's Matt Corral. 19 completions out of 41 attempts, 255 yards, a touchdown, and a interception. He also had 4 attempts at rushing for 24 yards. C. Marable had 9 attempts at rushing for 15 yards, and R. Person had 5 attempts at rushing for 14 yards. We had C. Johnson, 3 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. J. Thomas had 2 receptions for 44 yards. A. Rogers had 3 receptions for 42 yards. M. Williams had 4 receptions for 41 yards. J. Sternberger, 2 receptions, 26 yards. D. Davis, 3 receptions, 23 yards. A. Watkins, 1 reception, 9 yards. And J. Camp, 1 reception for 7 yards. And we had, I guess that's forced fumble that the defense has on here, which the NFL one doesn't really tell you, uh, at least for like the Google game stats and stuff. But I won't go through those today. Then we had the Roughnecks and the Showboats. The Roughnecks getting their first win of the season here, as they won 18-17. Another really close game. And we had N. Henderson complete 10 passes out of 11 for 80 yards and a touchdown. And A. Brown had 15 attempts, 8 completed for 40 yards. Z. White had 15 attempts at rushing for 50 yards. L. Lingard had 4 attempts at rushing for 32 yards. A. Brown had 3 attempts at rushing for 21 yards. And N. Henderson had 3 attempts at rushing for 15 yards. Z. White had 3 receptions, 28 yards. J. Hall had 5 receptions, 22 yards. L. Keys had 3 receptions, 20 yards. K. Chisholm had 2 receptions, 18 yards. M. Simmons had 3 receptions, 15 yards. J. Peterson had 1 reception for 11 yards. And E. Butler had 1 reception, 6 yards, and a touchdown. I will actually mention the interception here. L. O'Neal, he had 4 total tackles, 4 assists, and a interception. And also, K. Isaac had a interception as well. He had two total tackles and 1 assist. For the Showboats, we had E. Perry complete 13 passes out of 20 attempts, 131 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. T. Williams had 4 complete passes out of 8 attempts for 63 yards. T. Williams had 4 attempts at rushing, 35 yards, and a touchdown. D. Prince had 12 attempts at rushing for 16 yards. J. Jackson had 9 attempts at rushing for 15 yards. And E. Perry had 1 attempt at rushing for 6 yards. K. Lassiter had 6 receptions, 79 yards, and a touchdown. J. Adams had 5 receptions, 42 yards. K. Loxley had 2 receptions for 28 yards. D. Prince had 2 receptions, 16 yards. I. Washington had 1 reception for 15 yards. And R. Izzo had 1 reception for 14 yards. And that's about it there. Did I know I didn't mention it if I. No interception. So the Renegades had a interception, and that was Jay Powell with 5 total tackles and a interception. So I just had to go back on that game. Next, we had the Panthers and the Brahmas. This one, yet another close game, and the Panthers won that 26-23. We had K. Mond of the Brahmas complete 19 passes out of 31 attempts, 153 yards, and a touchdown. A. McFarland had 7 attempts at rushing for 54 yards. K. Mond had 6 attempts at rushing for 39 yards. Jay Lovett had 7 attempts at rushing for 18 yards. And Jay Corbin had 4 attempts at rushing for 10 yards. Jay Harris had 4 receptions for 56 yards. Jay Kirkland had 5 receptions for 28 yards. G. Ward had 4 receptions, 26 yards. A. McFarland had 2 receptions, 21 yards, and a touchdown. M. Sexton had 3 receptions, 15 yards. And Jay Lovett had 1 reception for 7 yards. Mr. Cat, what are you doing? The cat was just on my back. Then we have the Panthers with B. Perkins completing 17 passes out of 23 attempts, 193 yards, and 8 interceptions. So there was an interception that I missed. So Jay Williams, middle linebacker, had 4 total tackles, 5 assists, and a interception for the Brahmas. Pretty cool. And I think this is Danny Etling, if I am not mistaken. 2 completions out of 4 attempts, 21 yards. Jay Sheridan, 7 attempts at rushing, 59 yards, and a touchdown. B. Perkins, 10 attempts at rushing, 30 yards, and 2 touchdowns. N. McCrary, 7 attempts at rushing for 14 yards. And T. Taua had 3 attempts at rushing for 12 yards. S. Mariner had 5 receptions, 54 yards, as well as M. Turner. D. Ross had 3 receptions for 51 yards. Jay Moore had 2 receptions, 24 yards. C. Hikutini, I believe that is, 1 reception, 13 yards. S. Nakua, 1 reception, 12 yards. G. Oaks, 1 reception, 8 yards. And N. McCrary, 1 reception, -2 yards. And no other interceptions I gotta mention here. So we are on to the last game, which is the Defenders and the Battlehawks. Defenders getting the win here, 27-15, and they are looking good this year. We had Jay Ta'amu with 17 completions out of 37 attempts, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. D. Jackson had 8 attempts at rushing for 54 yards. A. Smith had 23 attempts at rushing for 52 yards. And J. Teamu had 1 attempt at rushing, -3 yards. T. Scott had 3 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. B. Moore McKinley had 3 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. J. Mickens had 1 reception, 25 yards. C. Rowland had 2 receptions, 23 yards. C. Powell had 3 receptions, 21 yards, and a touchdown. The most touchdowns that wide receivers have had so far, I believe. I know the first week there was a lot of running backs that were getting it. B. Sanders had 2 receptions, 21 yards. B. Breschanen, I don't know how to say that one, 1 reception, 18 yards. A. Smith had 1 reception, 14 yards. And D. Jackson had 1 reception, -4 yards. S. Kidd, defensive back, had 3 total tackles, 2 assists, and a interception. M. Ojemudia, I believe, 1 tackle, 1 interception. And W. Drew had a interception. Then for the Battlehawks, we had M. Wilkins complete 16 passes out of 29 attempts, 147 yards, touchdown, and 3 interceptions. M. Wilkins also had 4 attempts at rushing for 39 yards. J. Pearson had one attempt at rushing for 7 yards. J. Howard had 3 attempts at rushing for 6 yards. J. Sailors had 7 attempts at rushing for 1 yard. That's a sad one. And F. Darby had one attempt at rushing for -8 yards. That's even worse. Did I say receptions or attempts at rushing? I don't know. But for J. Sailors, if I did say it wrong, it was attempts at rushing. J. Sailors also had 7 receptions, 91 yards. F. Darby had 1 reception, 35 yards, and a touchdown. D. Mims had 1 reception, 9 yards. J. Sutherland had 1 reception, 8 yards. C. Allen had 1 reception, 6 yards. J. Pearson had 4 receptions for 1 yard. And J. Howard had 1 reception, -3 yards. K. Kelly, the defensive back, had 2 total tackles, 1 assist, and a interception. And cornerback C. Peyton Jones had 1 assist and a interception. And that is going to do it for this recap. And honestly, pretty decent this week of games. But anyway, hope you guys like, subscribe, comment, do really whatever you want to do. And as always, I will see you in the next one. See you around.